Hey everybody, it is TorontoUnicorn here with a very juicy story. This is one of the ones that you'll want to bookmark somewhere because it's going to be one of the best stories I probably will have to share. So this is the story I'm calling The Unicorn and the Bull. And because I'm just trying to live a real life while I share my details on YouTube, I'm going to be really respectful to the gentleman always, but I'll say up front that even if I'm glowing, even if I'm smitten, I am allowed to have a good night and not read into it, okay? So even if I had a good night, don't think I want to fall in love, don't think I want to have all sorts of expectations. It's just a story about a night at the sex club, okay? That's it. So this is the story of the unicorn and the bull, and maybe one day his other name will be revealed, but for now he is the bull. Yeah, so I'm a single woman unicorn in the lifestyle. There's single men in the lifestyle, and there's this certain gentleman that is a single man in the lifestyle, doing his thing. And so I have crossed paths with him a few times. I've seen him hook up with some of my friends. Yeah, great guy so far. I was feeling him out, whatever. Anyways, we had this I don't know, kind of like a building attraction, I think, just kind of over time. And then anyways, long story short, we end up in the pool at Oasis, and he didn't have a date, I didn't have a date, and it got good, okay? It got good. And I have to say, it was one of the best nights I've had ever there. It was really just getting lost in someone again who you want to be making out with all night. Sometimes you have people who want to make out with you, but you don't want to make out with them all night. This was different. This was mutual. It was really exciting energy. It was real attraction. It was good old fashioned fucking one-on-one. Yeah, and so I've got to say, that's what I've been missing. I like being a swinger, of course, but I've also missed having those kind of one-on-one experiences too. So I've got to say, the night started off kind of slow, we just barely talked kind of thing. Didn't touch, but anyways, I do like meeting fans. I love meeting fans at Oasis. But in this particular night, I had a few fans come up that I knew already. I'd said hi to them before a few times, but they were coming up as I was trying to kind of finally get my one-on-one time with this guy, and because I just finished another conversation, and so I was trying to give him my attention, and then these two fans come up, and I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry guys, I would really I really just want to talk to him right now. And I felt a little rude, but I really just didn't want to lose my shot and maybe have a good night. So the fans, once they realized it, they were like, oh sure, no worries, and they backed up. And then later they saw me hook up, so they're like, oh, good for you kind of thing. So it all worked out. But I had to actually say, I'm sorry, I just want to kind of focus on him right now. And I felt a little rude, but I also felt good about going for what I wanted right in the moment. So I did that, and then I got, poor guy, I don't know if he knew that was coming. Anyways, the night went on, we were chatting in the pool about all sorts of things, and yeah, and so eventually I got to the point where I asked if I could touch him, so I could I was in the pool, and I wanted to put my hands on his knees and lift my body up like a mermaid, because that's what I wanted to do. And so he's like, sure, yeah. So I do that, and then he helps me, and I literally get in his arms and float like this, I'm just being silly. He's being, he's going along with it. And it really just kind of developed the old-fashioned way, where the touches got a little bit more sexual versus just playful. And then he turned me around, so I was suddenly right facing him. And then I just I think I even just kissed him first. I'm not sure. We kissed, and it just didn't stop. We were just into each other, and that feeling where you're oh god, this is gonna be a good night. This guy, because we kiss the same too. He kisses a little bit differently, but in a way that I like. So it's it really was exciting, because sometimes you're trying to figure out someone's rhythm of their tongue, and this was different. This was very enjoyable. So anyways, then we started making out, and it gets to be almost my fantasy of what I would want in the Oasis pool, which is, it's a little cold out, there's steam coming off the water. This man grabs me and wraps my legs around him and pushes me against the wall while he's making out with me. Oh my god, it was so fucking hot. And then a couple minutes later, he would move me and put me on a different wall, and I was like, yes, please. It was so fucking good, okay? I don't know about you, but I like a guy who has throwdown, and a guy who can make me remind me he has throwdown is a good thing. And then he would like grab my throat in the right way, and like he called me good girl. Oh my god, it just was like, it was a really good vibe. And believe it or not, I am, because I'm a switch in the lifestyle, in the sense of I'm a dominant sometimes, I'm a submissive sometimes. This is the first time I felt my submissive energy flow in a very, very long time. And so I wasn't doming him, okay? So it was a very different dynamic for me, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I've got some, I'm a little rusty, I guess you could say, at some of the moves. Upside down blowjobs, need some work. I was panicking at one point because I was like, man, I can feel it hitting my teeth. Like, what do you want me to do about it? And he's like, I can't feel anything. And I was like, are you sure? Part of me was like, okay, sign a fucking fake liability waiver right now in the air so that I am relieved of all liability of teeth. And he's like, sure. And I was like, okay, great. And then we went to town. And we had a lot of fun. Now, this is YouTube or social media, and I can't tell you all the dirty details of the sex. That it has to be reserved for my fan page, but you're going to want to come there because there's a a longer story to tell, okay? A lot of the sexual details are reserved for there. So you're gonna have to come there. Basically, we ended up going up to the 3rd floor, but I did ask if we could shower first because I can't suck someone's D after they've been sitting in the pool. I can't suck that chlorine. I get a sore throat. It's not worth getting a sore throat. So I always ask. And this guy was like, yeah, of course, sure. We like scrubbed each other down. Like, it was kind of fun. And then we went upstairs. He's a total gentleman. He like gets me a towel. I don't know. He was just really nice. And it was just one of those, I'm not going to lie. I have been sitting on the bench in the sense of not having sex for a few months, like regular sex kind of thing. Several months. And I've been waiting. I've been waiting to have a meaningful, exciting, intoxicating experience. And I wasn't willing to settle for less. And I feel as though that paid off because I did have that night. Now, whether that night's going to happen again is for the future to reveal. All I know is it's in the memory books now. It's a smile on my face at the end of it, no matter kind of what happens in the future. So I'll always remember that night as like the time I was able to drift away in the arms of a man who was there to like make me feel good, and like, we had chemistry, and like, it was just very fucking rare for TorontoUnicorn, okay? The last time I have a video that even remotely compares to this, it's called Romance at a Sex Club, and it's the story of Colorado Boy. So I'm going to put a thumbnail on the screen here, but you can find the link in the description of the video. It's worth a watch because as a single girl, when you don't have casual sex with strangers, you do wait sometimes a few weeks, whatever, in between experiences unless you have a regular partner. And I'm here to show that sometimes those waiting periods are worth it because I have no regrets. That guy was fantastic. We had a fun night, and then he drove me home after. It was cute, and I gave him a kiss, and we've been texting a bit since. So that's the story. I don't want to drill too much into him so far. I'm just here to say the story of the special night I had at Oasis in the pool and beyond. And, it was interesting that my friends were there too. Like, R was there. She got to watch all this shit go down. And B was there. So B is as a familiar letter I used to reference in the earlier parts of my channel when I was very new into the lifestyle. He was one of the first people I knew. And and a few other people showed up there that I hadn't seen in a long time and hadn't shared the pool with in a long time. And I've got to say, it felt good to be able to be all at the same party kind of situation. So it was nice to see those people as well. And who knows what the future brings, but this lifestyle just can sometimes shake you up and make you feel all sorts of exciting energy again, and it's addicting. And so I'm gonna chase this high like I do a nicotine high or a dopamine high. It feels good. So that's the story. I now want to go to my fan page and transition into the sexual details because there's shit that happened in the pool under the water, okay? I'm just going to say, that's all I'm saying. And then you're going to have to come and hear me there. So I hope to see you soon.